Hello everybody and welcome to this very cool video. My name is Mark.
My name is Taryn, and today we're going to be showing you guys how you can put together your Masters Collection Dead Marshes.
Taryn is going to put you at ease and guide you through a really cool step-by-step process.
Yeah, and Mark is going to do what Mark does best. He's going to project supervise the assembly.
Just like how Gandalf supervised the destruction of the ring, partially through 3 films.
With the help of their Hobbit friends.
Exactly.
When assembling your Dead Marshes, I think the best way to go about it is to start from the base and work your way up. Then when you get to the top for the final assembly, you'll be able to display the whole thing in all of its glory. Now, there are a couple of tree branches that need to be slotted in near the base. There's 3 in particular. And if you have a look at the connection point at the end of each of the branches, you'll be able to find the corresponding hole all around the base. It'll be the same shape. So I think this big guy goes around your end. And then this little guy, this guy, slots in there. And then this guy goes somewhere around here. You want to have a look, see if there's a little square hole on your side? Sweet. And this guy just slots in right around.
There is a shape or color for every piece that goes towards this collectible.
From there, you want to install the bottom wraith into the base. This one's got a couple of parts that are separate. It's got an arm that slots in on its own. It's also got its head separately, which pops in like so. And you'll notice that there's a hole missing on the side of the head right there. There is an individual set of hairs that pop in. Now, these are all really flexible when you're assembling it, right? You can see how much give they have on there. So you don't have to be too nervous when putting them together, but you know, take your time with it. And then when you come over to the base, there is a section where it slots in like so. So now you've got the first wraith installed. So for the next part, you're going to have wraith number 2. Now, the order for this should be, take the wraith, find his right hand, and attach that. So this goes on first, just onto the slot here on the front. Now the next step is to find young Master Frodo and his trusty sword Sting, which slots into his belt like so. Then if you wouldn't mind, Mark, if you could install Mr. Frodo. You can then come back in with the left hand of wraith number 2. If you don't do the left hand separately, it's just a little bit tricky to get it into the right spot. The other hand, perfect. All right, so for the next part, we're gonna install all of these sort of spectral wisps, tendrils.
Spectral tendrils, ethereal forms.
Ethereal forms, that sounds much more professional. Now, same with all the other parts for this. They have very specific shapes for the key to match up with each of the slots. So you just gotta go around the base and find the corresponding one that fits the right shape. Goes there. Goes. Now that you've completed your underwater section, the next character to be installed is Smeagol. Now, our poor little friend here, as you can see, is missing his hand. That is so that way, when you install him to the base, he's going to have his hand sticking through the water, and you'll be able to connect the hand from underneath. He's going to live. And then the hand is going to snap right into place like so.
The power of magnets.
The power of magnets. I love magnets. Now, our next friend that gets installed is the brave Sam. If you would hold on to our friend Sam for a moment, he does have one extra part, and it is this adorable little pot that slots in to the back of his pack. You're going to take his adorable little pot and just slot it like so. Just like all of our other characters, you just find the little slot where he keys into. Nice and perfectly seated into the base. Finally, the last big piece to add in is, of course, this beautiful, large, dead tree. Mark, would you like to have the honors?
Why, thank you.
Of course.
This is the tallest part of the sculpt, and it also frames the whole situation. So it's very important. Look at that.
Nice. Now, as cool as this looks, we're not quite done yet. There are a couple of other small details that we need to add on to finish the piece. So you've got all these lovely little accent details that come along with it. So you've got all the fronds, all the little bits of grass. These are color coded, so that way when you're looking at the bottom of them, you can find the matching hole somewhere on the base. And then we also have these tiny, tiny little bubbles, which will be attached to Frodo, and we'll show you a close-up of that in just a second. Want to get started?
Let's begin.
All right, I will start handing you. These are the tiny yellow ones. There we go. I think these are the big red ones.
So you'll notice amongst the footprints that correspond to Gollum and Sam, there are these different sized holes with colors in them to guide you. Yellow being the smallest. So just find the yellow corresponding area to plant these, what do you call these little swamp shrubs?
Ta-da!
There we go.
Okay. Now, there are lots of small parts that go with young Mr. Frodo, and that includes all of these teeny tiny little bubbles. Now, these are going to be a little tricky to find and slot into the different parts of his cloak. But if you just take your time and find each of the little holes, you'll have one in his right sleeve. You'll have a few more that go all down the outside of the cloak. There we go.
So Terran is inserting the bubbles into the holes that are perfectly hidden around the cape and his sleeves. So keep a good eye out for these. You can easily miss them.
There we go. Now, besides all the little bubbles that attach to Mr. Frodo, you also, of course, have Sting, which just slots in to his waist, just around the side here. And that's going to sit just nice and cozy right on top of his belt. Once you've got all the bubbles and Sting installed onto Frodo, he's ready to go back onto the base.
Wait,
Just got it.
where's the ring? Very important part.
Yep, no, you're right, you're right. There's a ring. It's meant to be on the chain, and I think I know where the ring is, but I really don't want to go get it.
Where? Oh,
Yeah.
right at the bottom.
Yeah.
Rock, paper, scissors? Rock, paper, Moria. It's pretty much rock.
It's cheating.
Well done. You found it.
I did. It was at the bottom. Once you locate Frodo's ring, it just needs to slot in below his neckline. Very gently, like that. And it'll also be sort of sticking upward to add to that momentum of him falling into the dead marshes. But with that final piece, you are ready to place him into his little home. And then you just take the Wraith's hands and put them right back in to their slots. That is how you assemble your Masters Collection Dead Marshes.
Well done.
Yeah, thank you, Mark. Thank you so much for supervising while I did all the work. Thank you to you guys for, of course, supporting us and collecting. If you still have some questions, please do let us know. You can find me or one of the other lovely people at our support team. They'll be more than happy to walk you through any steps that you need when putting together your Masters Collection.
And with a bit of wizardry and a bit of wiring, I'm going to place the power in my hands into this collectible and bring these lights to life.